it's part of our roots, it's part of our native culture, it's part of like our DNA, you know what I mean? So like it's deeper than just the music that we like to dance to. Like it's within, you know. So it's in us, you know. So to be able to do cumbias now with the original projects and stuff, like it's great to translate and bring out what's already within and have that impact, you know what I mean, like with a modern touch.
Hey, welcome to Too Hard Too Fast. In this episode I have Rich. Actually, I didn't even ask how I was gonna introduce you, but
wow, baby.
Hey,
got a wild,
dude, you
man.
actually have a really cool we'll get into it, but you actually have a really cool like logo.
Oh, thank you.
I really like it. But it's Rich.
Rich YR, yes sir.
Do you want me to introduce you? Well, I already introduced you, but from Tarasco Tropical or
También, yes, yeah. Shout out Tarasco Tropical, baby, the fam, you know what I'm saying? The boys. Yeah.
Gio. So
Gio, baby, La Roz.
yeah, we're gonna talk about. Sorry, man, I keep cutting you off, but we're gonna talk about your musical talents, especially with Tarasco Tropical, which is how I actually got to know who you were. We'll talk about how you got into your creativeness, and we'll see where it goes. All right,
let's do it, bro.
So let's sit back, buckle up, let's go too hard, too fast. Hey,
shout out that boy going too hard. Yo, listen here. I'm going too hard, too fast, baby. Woo! Shoot!
All right,
I appreciate you. Appreciate you inviting me on.
I might be a little rusty.
That's fine.
I'm already rusty because I'm looking like not even at you.
That's fine.
But
take your time, no pressure. Too hard, too fast. Hey, that's what it's all about.
Nice. Yeah. Oh man, I can already feel like if there's any lady listeners, they're gonna be like, "Ooh, say more."
Oh, baby.
Like, George, stop talking.
Let him talk some more. No.
Yeah.
Get my Instagram.
Well,
my sweet voice at the real Rich YR. All platforms RICH space YR. Rich YR. You can find me on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, all the platforms. I got new music dropping too. Do all original hip hop. I produce all my own stuff, mix down my own stuff, master all my own stuff.
Ignore all that hatred, I'm right to the foolishness, hey. There ain't no mistaking, it's mine for the taking. Don't think I was new to this, yeah. Evil the root in us. Hard to find goodness. Look at us fighting with Lucifer, tighten and loosen, yeah. Enlighten the rumor, but pray for myself.
In the past, I've had to shoot all my own videos.
Dang.
Everything, brother. Everything from the ground up.
I've been locked and I've been planning, I inspire myself. I've been shaking off these demons since they bad for my health.
So give credit to all those artists that have to do it themselves, you know, because it's a lot.
Yeah, man. So that's awesome because I didn't know you did all that. Like I knew you were creative. I know you helped out Gio with like videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, brother. The music's been and it's been played internationally. I've been played more times in Japan and Ireland in most cases, you know what I mean, than the United States, which is beautiful to me because I feel like, you know, having your voice heard in places that you haven't traveled to or anything, you know, other sides of the earth, you know. Yeah. Osaka, Japan, all those people always showing love. Tokyo, you know. I always get shots from Ireland. I get shots from Germany. I get shots from, oh man, it's crazy. Argentina, Mexico. It's always been, it's like for me, like it's wild. Like thinking, like these are places that I've yet to go. I plan on going, you know, with the music and with these projects. It's been such a beautiful journey, taking it step by step. It hasn't been on no Justin Bieber tip where like I was famous at 12 or anything. Like, nah, it's been such a beautiful journey, and I feel like that's it's been to me more priceless than anything.
So now I'm a little curious on why you've gotten more hits in other countries. Like, well, do you feel like it's more other countries and less U.S. or like is it even?
I mean, it's pretty even. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm totally discrediting the U.S. you know algorithm.
No, it's all right.
Right, and I mean that's when we chop it up to the algorithm or whatever it may be, but it's a little bit mind-boggling in a sense. Or it gets you know what I mean, a little flabbergasting as they say. But you start to wrap your mind around it, like, man, that's crazy. Like, and granted, you know, the more you learn about it, you have to pay your ad dollars and you got to, you know, invest in your product, especially here in the United States. It's all algorithmic. You're fighting the algorithm. So like just to know that I've been played internationally organically, you know what I mean? I've had plays, you know, here locally, all throughout Texas, all throughout, you know, different parts of the West Coast, East Coast, Canada, you know what I mean? I've had all those stats come back where they've viewership, you know, either from the website or, you know, social media or, you know, Apple Music, Spotify, all those stats, they come back, you know. So learning those demographics and stuff and finding out who's listening to your stuff and what age groups listen to your stuff and even finding out that too is like, I'm not really specific to one age group. Like my age group is young to old. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
But
Well, what kind of music is it? Because I
It's
know
hip-hop.
what that hip hop. Yeah,
Yeah.
you did say that at the beginning.
yeah,
But I know, so it's crazy because I know with Tarasco Tropical,
yeah,
the kind of music that you play is like, it's like cumbia hip hop mix.
cumbia. Yeah, and
yeah.
Gio's rapping over it. You know,
Yeah.
we get to sing. We get to do harmonies and kind of still bring in that traditionalism. You know, because that's kind of how I grew up. Was well, my pops was a DJ.
Okay.
So like weddings, 15s, all that stuff, and then standing in debuts when we were growing up in middle school and high school, you know, standing in the 15s and stuff, and you'd have to dance, and you know, for whatever reason, I was a semi-decent dancer back then too, you know, so. Just always been in the scene and dance battles and doing, you know, the circles, especially in Texas, you know, the cumbia circles and stuff, and. Just showing out and this other stuff. So like, there was a while there where that kind of got lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, as if people were searching for the next thing.
Yeah,
and
the
then,
next dance.
Right.
And now with TikTok, there's like a new dance every other
yeah,
day.
well, I feel like it's been resurgent. Like everyone's like they're doing like the web
Like
plaza.
the
and they're
old
doing,
school
yeah,
stuff,
that's
yeah.
like that's bro, I did that when I was a teenager. You know what I mean? Like we could do this again. Like
And it's like different cultures doing like that el avión.
yeah, exactly. So like they como los indios, you know what I mean? Like going dancing around the fire type. It always gave us that visual. It's like it's part of our roots. It's part of our native culture. It's part of like our DNA, you know what I mean? So like it's deeper than just the music that we like to dance to. Like it's within, you know. So taking those connections, like the Afro-Latin roots, you know, all the way back to the motherland type of stuff, you know, like it's in us.
Yeah.
You know, so to be able to do cumbias now with the original projects and stuff, like it's great to translate and bring out what's already within and have that impact, you know what I mean, like with a modern touch. So it's awesome.
do you do it in English and Spanish, or like you mix it up?
Yeah, we do both languages.
What is easier for you? Or what was your first language?
First language is English. There was years, but I did mariachi for like 2008 to like 2018. I did it professionally, and I think for those 10 years, like I was singing songs that I didn't know the words to. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was word for word, and people told you sound like you speak Spanish perfectly. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, I don't know what I'm saying. Like,
well, that's not. I mean, I don't feel like that's any shame. Like, because there's like chingos of famous artists that come from like Spanish speaking countries, and they have people translate their music and they sing it and it sounds perfect. Then more than likely they probably don't know at the time what they're singing. I'm sure they have like really good understanding. Right. Imagine them, they just record something and they're recording all these kind of like messed up things. Yeah. But no, but
it don't matter the language either. Just
but that's how you learn it, you know.
Right.
A little bit of it.
And yeah, I've seen like some people, you know, from like the Philippines, and they're singing La, never, and then they switch back to their dialect, and they're like, and I'm like, yo, what? Like that's such a crazy like polar dialect, or like polar like shift in their dialect. But then you look at like Adele, and Adele's like, oh, this is such a beautiful day, and then she's singing almost like Aretha Franklin-esque, you know what I mean, like in English, where it's like like. Usually we're like, oh, it's such a crazy thought, but it's really not, bro. Like it's not too crazy to have like someone from Australia come over here and have such a thick Australian accent, but then they're speaking like Wolverine, like if he came from, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like they can switch it up.
Yeah, they can switch it up.
And
so
they
like,
teach themselves, I guess, too.
Yeah,
do you have an accent when you sing in Spanish?
I
have an accent when I snore. Like I have like. I'll tell you this, and I've said this on the podcast many times. When I was growing up, my first language was Spanish.
Nice.
But I was a little bit kind of ashamed for the Spanish. They were like, "Oh, you got to speak English. I'll speak English," and you know. And then there was in the U.S. you speak English. In Mexico, when we're visiting family, it's only Spanish.
Right.
But every time we were crossing, like I was shamed for like sounding like a Mexican, you know, like like, oh, you know, like it's like are you sure you're a U.S. citizen? And so crazy. When I turned 18, I tried to get rid of it, or like as I was turning or getting older, and I knew I was gonna move out of my hometown, which is predominantly Mexicans. I was like, I need to speak a little bit more like everybody else.
What was your hometown?
Eagle Pass.
Oh, true.
Hey,
shout out that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Eagle Pass.
Yeah.
No, but so there was like it was mostly Mexicans. You know, I like to say a lot of brown words.
Yeah, right.
No. But yeah, so I was like, I need to sound more like everybody else once I moved closer. I went to San Antonio.
Right.
But no, so I tried to get rid of it, and I really thought that I think I lost some of it. And now it's coming back a little bit more. I'm a lot more comfortable. When I get sleepy, you can really hear it, or when I get a little too hard too fast, you can definitely hear it. But
you can still kind of hear it. You can, yeah. I feel like I have
work on it now.
I feel like I have more of a, for whatever reason, like I feel like I have like a southern drawl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
you did.
I feel like that's, and I take that from one being from where we're from, like west side of San Antonio. Like there was times you spoke Spanish and there was times you spoke English, but like our generation, at least coming from the 90s, like, and I recognize this because I got some old folks, you know what I mean? Like they was born in the 50s. So like their whole generation's language is like doo-wop and like, you know what I mean, some old school rock and roll. But I always compare it to doo-wop because it's like that was what was really happening amongst like the teenagers and stuff. Well, for our generation, it's hip hop. Yeah. And like our language was hip hop. Our, you know what I mean? Our culture is hip hop. And then like it wasn't even ignored. Like pop culture has already been adopted, or not. They've already adopted all these elements of hip hop. Now country music has hi-hats and 808s in it. You know what I mean? Like so. Hip hop's always encompassed or just managed to just be there. You know what I mean? Like for our generation, like it was our language, you know, like it, like from the way we dress to the way we talk, like to what we do, you know, like it was just, I don't know, just that's how I grew up, was just more of like an urban feel, you know? Yeah. But we still had roots to like mariachi and ballet folklorico and like cumbias and like, you know what I mean? Tejano and all that stuff. And we learned all that music and learned all that stuff too. So it's like that scene out of Selena when he's like, it's hard being Mexican American. Dude, you got to be more Mexican than the Mexicans. You got to be more American than the Americans. Like, it's rough, dude. It is. Like, we really got to bust ass to be able to perform on both sides of the coin, you know? Yeah, for sure. And that's been something that, as a musician and as a person going through my journey, I've been playing music for at least instruments since I was 11 years old. So now I'm 33. So you know what I mean, like 22 years in. Piano, guitar. Okay. I learned them both.
Did it come easy to you?
Super easy.
Shut up, man.
Yeah, it was weird.
There you go.
And I'm a lefty, so like I did the lefty flip too. I was like, and I was like, nah, this feels weird. So I play all my instruments like a right-handed person, but I'm a lefty. Yeah. And then somewhat ambidextrous, you know. But like the weed I play with my left. Uh-huh. But as far as like vihuela, like maniqueos and all that stuff, I use my right. Okay. But I trained myself to do both, I guess. You know what I mean?
I kind of get it because I'm left-handed too, but like a lot of things that I do are very right-handed. Like I bat like a right-handed person.
Nice,
I'll throw with my left.
Right. I could switch stance on behind the plate. Yeah.
I remember. I think up to third grade, I want to say that I did right with two hands. But then somebody, like, I don't know if it was a teacher or somebody was like, "Oh, you're supposed to choose one hand." I was like, "Okay." And then I chose, like, dude, that was the worst advice I've ever got. Yes. Whoever it was.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like our generation also was subject to that type of like ideology, that type of thinking.
Yeah, don't be different.
Yeah, like it's so sad because like now they're trying to like cater to it, but in the wrong ways. Like they're trying to baby people. It's like no, like be yourself, but like those restrictions of like, oh, you shouldn't do it like that. Like we got to stop doing that to each other. Like especially as creatives, like I find creatives do that to each other. Oh no, you shouldn't do it like that. Nah, bro, don't even say no. Just okay, and then adapt. Or like, oh, let's try it like this. Or you know what I mean? Just some type of other positive way of getting the outcome to, you know, to come out. But yeah, like teachers in our generation would always do that, bro.
Especially with music, I feel like it's mainstream. Like I grew up with country music and Tejano, right? But country music was like everything I heard first. So it felt more natural, and so that's why I can speak on country, where as I got older it sounded very similar to a different song or another song. So then now that I'm older, I can see like, oh, they're just putting out what they know is gonna sell.
Right.
To where now I don't really like the mainstream. I'll listen to stuff that is probably not on anybody's radio. But
and what's crazy is even as a musician, like you start to learn like keys and different things like that, and it's like there's only 6 major keys that they use in major music. You know what I mean? So you don't really have to know everything. You know what I mean? Initially, like you can learn it as you go. But as long as you learn your 6 major keys, like you can learn just about everything mainstream you could possibly, wish to know. Like it's wild because it's a science. It's a bit of a math. Like once you learn that little formula, that little equation of like this is all you're working with, and it's just duplicated in octaves. You know what I mean? Like, and then you start.
And that's like to the point that I was saying is that now that, like you said, stop telling people to like, hey, you should do it this way or don't do it that way. Like the way people do things, they allows for mistakes, and sometimes the mistakes is what makes like the better stuff.
Exactly. Man.
Especially with you guys, man. Y'all's music is different. It's different, but it's fucking good.
Yeah, that's one thing I love and enjoy about this project is like it's stepping out of the ordinary, stepping out of that comfort zone, but it's in a space where it's allowing for new things to occur, and the sound is amazing, especially the more time we've been spending together. Like we haven't even been together for a year yet, like we've been locking it in over these past couple months, bro, and it's been just tightening up. Like amazing musicians on the roster, bro. Kevin Talley, amazing drummer, world-renowned drummer in the metal scene, you know what I mean? All these Black Dahlia Murder, Suffocation, all these other bands that we all grew up in high school with, like this dude was on all those recordings.
Okay.
Yeah. So like we got him on the set, Fausto's on the keys, man. Mr. Fausto, Senor Fausto, that boy, Fausto Fingers, that boy killing it, bro. Masterful with it, and he's not even traditionally trained, bro. Like he'll tell you himself, like he didn't really traditionally train. It's all ear, so it's like that's just pure, you know what I mean? That's pure rawness, bro. Pure talent.
That's awesome.
And then a homie on guitar, you know what I mean? And Esteban, he's been killing it. La Ros, Johnny's been on the accordion, bro. Man, as far as like personalities, bro, super humble dude. I love, you know what I'm saying? Like just an amazing musician at the same time, amazing songwriter too. Him and Gio been coming up with some amazing stuff throughout the years, and like just being given that opportunity, brother, to add to the ensemble has been such a blessing. Like I always praise Gio for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we at first we're like, hey, let's do something, and if it works out, we'll mess around, and then it just became like, hey, let's do this fucking full on, like let's do this full time. It's like let's do it, and yeah, bro, like I feel like the direction we're going, the direction we're headed, the blessings that have been coming through, like everything's right for this,
I agree, man.
So,
and I've said it since
great.
The first time I met Gio to like the second time I've been he's like been on the podcast, and ever since like I've known him, like his vibe is like everybody else's vibe in the band. Like everybody's cool right now. Like, and I was gonna say when you're talking like the southern draw, like you have a chill vibe, or your accent. Yeah, I think it's like also you. Like it's just like your voice is you kind of thing. That's what it sounds like to me.
Hey, thank you.
Because you like, since I met you, like again, and this is just like I just met you in person today. Yeah. I've seen you a handful of times at shows, but I've never met you.
Word, yeah.
And we've been talking online. But as soon as I met you, I was like, cool. And then like I was petting a dog. You guys couldn't see her probably right now.
Diamond's out here chilling.
So I'm afraid of dogs big time, even though I love them. And she kind of barked at me like, nah, man, it's cool. And it kind of like almost made me feel like, yeah, it was going to be cool. But it might bite me, but it's okay.
Nah, she cool, man. I said, hey, get inside. You cool? Yeah, and she said, all right, little tail wag.
Yeah.
Came back inside.
No, it's just been awesome. But yeah, man, that you have that chill vibe, but that's like, it translates. I think that translates into the music.
Wow, bro.
For sure. Like,
like I never heard that.
No?
Nah.
I don't see how you guys can, like, what I was saying is like, if people are sleeping on Tarasco Tropical music,
hey,
for sure. I hope not anymore. I hope I'm wrong now. Is this too hard, too fast? We don't check facts.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure you guys are a lot bigger than when I first, met Gio.
Oh, yeah.
But like I still like, I don't know what it is, and I'm not like some musical talent, but I know music when I hear it, like good stuff.
Amen.
And this is it. Like it's weird because I feel like I know Gio, but I still jam out to y'all's music.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
It's like I in the truck, I'm like bumping it.
I always say this, because some people like they've almost disrespected what's going on sometimes with like what we do, like just professionally what we do, and I always got to like reality check a few people because I'm like, yo, Brad Pitt's got friends, bro. Like Tom Brady went to school with the high schoolers. Eminem went to school. He's got, friends and cousins. These are regular people, bro. Like a famous person walking by you, it's not a, you know what I mean? It's not a crazy thought. Like some people think, like, no, only the famous people are the people that I, that deserve my respect. They only exist on the screen.
Right.
Like, nah, bro. Like, there's legends out here, bro. There's people who they're doing their thing, yourself included. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't ever discredit. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's out here, for their own righteousness, their own greatness and stuff. So like, people got to remember that. Like, hey, it's okay to be you. It's okay to be yourself. Like, if you're trying to carbon copy somebody else, bro, that person already exists. Just be yourself. Like, be yourself, and you'll be amazed of the outcome sometimes. Because people do want to see originality. They do want to see someone just being comfortable in their own skin. And don't get me wrong, bro. There's a lot of reasons in life to get you down or to convince you otherwise, or tell you you're crazy, or, and it usually comes from like the closest people, like family, friends. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's impossible, bro, or like, oh, you crazy for thinking like that. And it's like, nah, dude. Like, you have to be crazy in order for this to even work. So
or to even keep it going, because there's no way you keep going on something that seems very far-fetched, and where people are going to tell you like, nah, dude, I don't think that's for you, or like, who do you think you are, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like nowadays definitely there's more support. Like people are changing their mindset. Like, hey,
right.
you don't have to be from like the right side of town to get the right set of music,
Right. Or to get the right resources.
Yeah.
Or to have access to that,
Yeah, for sure. Like I'm beyond honored to even talk to the people that want to talk to me on here.
Right.
Like you can see nobody else can see my setup here, just you right now.
Yeah.
But my setup is small. It's different cameras of different brands. But hey, it's happening, man.
That's all you need.
And I've gotten to meet very talented people, very high ranking people. The people that have been out on this podcast, like, they've all been genuine. Yeah. They've all been successful at their, whatever level they're working at.
Yeah.
So I really feel like that. The thing is, like, they're wanting other people to succeed as well. Like, they're whatever their what's the word? I don't even know what it is.
Their success.
What?
Their success, like
their success, yeah. Too hard, too fast. Sorry.
Yeah, too fast, baby.
Their success is not based on trying to beat somebody else, but like, it's their own thing, and they want other people to succeed.
Exactly, bro. Like, I don't know how white.
I don't even know if that made sense.
But. It makes perfect sense, because some people, I guess, have a problem with this, but like they don't want to see other people win. Why, bro? If we all win, we all eat, we could have a bountiful feast out here, bro. If everyone's good, everyone's driving Lambos, I don't see nothing wrong with it. Right. Let's all win, bro. Let's all succeed. I don't get the whole stepping on each other and crabs in a bucket type of thing. Like, oh, I got to be above you. Like, no, bro. Like, we could all do this side by side. We could all get this together as equals, and we can all thrive, bro. As long as everyone stays on what they're doing, you know what I mean? That's what it is. But I guess that's for
unless
another
you're
day.
A podcast, unless you're another podcast, then I don't mess with. No, I'm just
kidding. All right, not you,
not you guys.
Then not you.
Yeah, not you.
What's your demographic?
I'm talking to you.
Not you.
You know who you are. No, I don't. I used to be like, I don't follow other podcasts because I don't want to copy them. Like, I don't want to get into their stuff. I mean, obviously, I listen to like Joe Rogan and like these major comedian podcasts. I mean,
but a podcast. I guess if someone was be like, "You're copying my podcast, bro," then you copying everybody else's podcast.
We're all just talking.
You ain't the first podcast to ever exist. If you were the first podcast, okay, talking shit. But if you were way down the line from the concept of podcast, don't say nothing about, oh, well, I own the wheel. No, nope. That's the thing, a beautiful part about music too, is like, you get some people that they think that they own it, or that they've like God's gift to whatever. And I had one of my old school instructors be like, if you ever think you're God's gift to anything in music, change the key.
Nice.
Change the key, bro. Do it a different way. Watch yourself. You go right back to square one. You humble yourself. So like, there's, you know what I'm saying? Never get too big for your head, bro. Like, especially as creatives, though, like, we gotta stay grounded. We gotta stay humble. And it's not even being humble. Like, be honest with you, like, there's a difference in those people who are arrogant, like truly arrogant, and then there's the difference between the people who, like, they're for certain, they know who they are. You know what I mean? Like, they know what they're here to do, and that shouldn't be miscommunicated or misinterpreted as arrogance. That should be like, damn, that's admirable. You know what I mean? Like, you know what you're here to do. You're focused. You know what I mean? You got those. You know what I mean? You got your goal in mind. You got your blinders on. Like, that should be admirable. So like, even that definition, it needs to probably get retouched on. You know what I mean? For some people.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it's okay to be yourself.
No, yeah, like there is a line between where you're like, you're very cocky and like it comes off negative, and the confident, like you're confident in what you're doing,
right?
And that's what you're focused on. And yeah, you're good at something. You can say you're good at something,
right?
But I think when you're saying I'm the best at it,
right,
it's a little different. Well, but it actually, I don't know, because now like, when I said that, like, what about fighters? Like when fighters are like, I'm the best. I feel like they have to truly believe that to be able to get in the ring and like. One
thing I learned, it was from Birdman. Old school interview, and Birdman, Cash Money had just got on the scene with Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne was 15 years old. A lot of people forget that. Like, he came on the scene, Bad Boy was doing a thing, you know, West Coast, East Coast was doing a thing, and this fool shows up and he's like, we the best thing since sliced bread. We the best. We the shit. We know it. We the best. That's it. And they asked him years later in an interview, like, why did you do that? And he was like, it wouldn't have worked if we weren't sure of ourselves. Yeah. Like, we had to be sure of ourselves to know, you know what I mean, to leave that imprint. And it's like, okay, as an artist, as a creative, like Lady Gaga, are you gonna say she's crazy for all those wardrobe changes and all that stuff? Nah, bro, she's doing what she wants. It's her own thing, you know what I mean? So you can't sit there and look at the other side and be like, oh, just because, well, you're gonna do it like that, I don't approve. Reevaluate, you know what I mean? It's okay to pick that glass up and turn it a little bit and be like, well, hold on, I haven't seen the full side of this. Like, oh, let me look at it this way. Changes things, you know? Yeah. So like, as far as like being a creative, bro, like it's been such a blessing, such a journey, like, because you learn so much more little aspects of life, you know? Yeah.
And did you like always think that this is the route that you were gonna go to, or
always?
Did you have a different?
Even when I was a kid, when they were like, "What are you gonna be when you grow up?" Don't get me wrong, I want to be like NBA. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in the league, which hey, I can hoop, bro. I can. Get me on the court, baby. Woo! Sleep you. But, like,
I don't look like you looked at your friend to see if he was gonna.
If I was like
mess,
right? Like, hey, you gonna back me up? He sees it. Nah, bro. If I was like at least like 5 or 6 inches taller, I could dunk. I'd be able to dunk. But at 6 foot, nope. Nope. I needed like at least another 1 to 4 inches to.
That's all right, man.
To grab that rim.
I can't dribble and look up at the same time.
Oh no. I just can't dunk. I can do everything else. I just can't dunk.
Nah,
but yeah, bro.
So like, okay. So when people asked you, "What are you gonna be when you grow up?" Besides NBA,
it was music, bro.
Yeah,
it was music. It wasn't no doctor. It wasn't no wishful thinking. Part of me wants to get into politics eventually. You know.
Oh dang. Okay.
I'd love to make a change. You know what I mean, at that level.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a time for everything. I want to be a music teacher for the most part, especially going into college. Like that was my study as music major and a psych minor. So I just always love that dynamic between music and the mind. You know what I mean? How music can affect our emotions, can affect our mood. You know what I mean? Always love that dynamic. So I studied that, you know, music and psychology and how they correlate, how they come together. Because that's what you have to know when you're moving crowds, is how to move a crowd.
Yeah.
You know, and you can do that with an A minor. You can make everyone real sad by just playing chords. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you can make them real happy by doing major keys and playing happy chords in a certain pattern, a certain way. So music is powerful. You know what I mean? Super powerful. So like learning the dynamic between the two and the relation, the correlation of how it changes people and how it can move people. That's what I've applied to my own music, so that it does have that effect where it's impactful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been applying that. So yeah, Rich Wire, all platforms. Go check out that music, baby.
Don't sleep on it.
Don't sleep on it. Tarasco Tropical, all platforms, baby. Don't sleep on it, baby.
Hey.
Sheesh. Shout out Principe Q, you know what I'm saying? Producing most of those tracks. Shout out Savani. Shout out he's done stuff with Bo Bunny and all these, you know, people that they've been doing their thing. But yeah, man, Gio been on his grind, bro, and I love it. I appreciate to be a part of the project, you know what I'm saying?
Nice. Hey, Bo Bundy has liked a few of my posts. He just doesn't follow back.
Oh yeah. Hey,
to you.
tell We're gonna have to link you up with, you know what I'm saying? Sorry, if he's done a track with Gio and us, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we're gonna have to link you in.
Yeah, he knows I exist.
Get on the phone, bro. Get on the phone, bro.
No, but so growing up, and I know you gotta get to practice. So I
know I'm all running late to rehearsal. My fault, guys. I already messaged the group.
Let me ask you a couple more questions though. When you're going through your journey to music, was there any like doubts from outsiders, like they could try to stray you, or
bro, look at my skin color?
But how did you deal with that? How did you like stay focused on what you were wanting?
I just stayed myself, bro, because shit, there wasn't anything else I could do. Fuck it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I could change. I really didn't appreciate the people that would like follow all the trends. If everyone was wearing skate shit, now they're wearing skate shit. If everyone was wearing the emo shit, they're wearing emo shit. If everyone was wearing the tourist shirts, they're wearing it. And I was like, bro, I went by my own beat of my own drum, you know?
Yeah.
So that's always helped. That also draws a lot of ridicule, and that draws a lot of hate.
Oh, for
and
sure, man.
I've learned through psychology too, that's solely to do with themselves. Because you're providing an example where it's like, hey, I'm comfortable in my own skin. It's okay for you to be comfortable. And someone who is not comfortable in their own skin looks at you and sees you as a threat. Or looks at you and sees you as like, oh, I don't like that. But it's what you don't like within yourself.
Yeah.
That you can't stand to see this person do them. You know what I mean?
It makes something in them uncomfortable.
Exactly. So it's not that you exist, but your existence is what's causing disruption in their life. But it's because they haven't figured it out for themselves yet. And that's not something that they should sit there and be upset about. Like, nah, dude, you know what? Recognize that. Own that shit.
Yeah.
Recognize that and be like, hey, what can I do to make sure that that's not what's happening? What can I do to change that? What can I do to satisfy myself in a sense? Because there's a lot of people that are living for what their folks wanted, or living for what their girlfriend wanted, or what someone else suggested. And all shit. Figure out what you want to do in life.
I think that's the worst part. It's like,
you know
when you're doing what somebody else doesn't want for you, or like, you know, and I think that definitely makes it to where they hate that somebody gets to do what they want and feel more free and comfortable.
Oh my gosh. I hate to be too TMI, but even with relationships, bro, like I've run into those relationships where it's admiration turns into envy. Cause it's like, at first they're like almost proud, like, what, you can do what you want, you control your own schedule, like, what, you can, and you're still paying all your bills, and you're still thriving, you're still be able to, you know what I mean, do what you want, you're still able to vacation, you're still able to do what you, how, like, this don't make no sense. Oh, okay, now I get it. Okay, well, I gotta go to work. And then it's like, well, you get to do what you want. And it's like, it's not necessarily that, it's, I busted my ass to get here, yo. Yeah. Like, they don't see that. Like, I busted my ass to get to the position I'm in for years in order to be that guy that they call, or in order to be that person that's like, hey, this part, they just told me about you, but I hear that you've been doing this forever. Like, let me, and lock in the business and lock in the contract, and we're off on the road, or we're doing whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's how this works. It's just the amount of time and effort you put into it. And there's similar to the 10,000 hour rule, which is like, you commit 10,000 hours to anything, and more than likely you're gonna master it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you get good at it. So like, just put in the time. I remember doing upright bass in like 11th grade and 12th grade, and my teacher wanted me to do like rehearsal logs, and I was like, dude, this is stupid, bro. Like, I gotta like watch the time and mark down when I started and when I finished. But it was like that little concept of doing that several times where I was like, oh shit, dude, like if I do this a lot, damn, there's gonna be a change. And yeah, bro, I've always been focused on that, to where it's just, I've always pushed my mental, I've always pushed how I see things, how I songwrite, you know. So it's helped me to be able to stay in touch with multiple genres. You know what I mean? I don't say I've mastered everything. I don't know all the country. You know what I mean? But I know all the other ones. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying I'm, you know, jack of all trades, but you can be a master of what you're good at. You know what I mean? You can master what you master, and you can master multiple things. And
you know what? Like, since you mentioned jack of all trades, I used to hear that growing up. It's like, oh, you should be a jack of all trades, learn everything, do everything.
What's up, David?
But I don't know if they can see her.
Right. What's up, David? Pop? He's a David Pop. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and that made sense to me growing up. I was like, yeah, I want to learn a little bit of everything, do everything, try to get good at everything. But I quickly, growing up as an adult, I realized you can't get good at everything if you're doing everything. So you have to figure out like those things that you can get good at and just focus. At least, I mean, I could be wrong in that. It could be a little different.
Like the way I saw it was like it was similar to that teacher telling you like, no, don't do that, because I wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah.
And I thought about that little moment with people, with students, of being like, no, don't do. Why would you ever?
Yeah, don't write with both hands. Why not?
You know what I mean?
Finish faster.
Yeah, yeah. Like, why would you ever discourage anyone into, you know what I mean, experimenting or trying stuff or doing whatever? Like, it's such a wrong way of doing things. Like, to discourage anyone to try, like, trying to write with both hands. Oh, you should just pick one. Nah. Like, had someone came and told me that at some point, I might have had to have been like, oh, I guess I'll pick one. Yeah. But even in my own right, like, having those moments with people when they would tell me like, hey, well, you should. I remember being, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like,
for real, man.
Like, even as a kid, I just turned around. I was like, what? Like, nah,
and some of it may be good advice. Like, for sure, I feel like I wish somebody would have told me that I'm never gonna like learn to play the guitar, because I spent a long time trying to play guitar, like years.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't put in like the hours every day that you probably should, and that you probably did, but
I still gotta practice.
But yeah, like I could have been better about that, but I don't think that's him. I don't think I have the musical talent for that, and so at some point I had to recognize that. And then I've said this before. I've sold the guitar for profit, and that was the best thing I did with the guitar,
bro.
But there's other things like even this like podcast. Sometimes like I'll get told like, what are you doing, man? It's like, you work all day and then you're doing this. It's like, yeah, man, you know, I love it.
I
like,
enjoy
this is like the
it,
fun part, man.
Yeah, this pays my bill, but this feeds my soul.
Yeah, you know?
And that was the whole correlation, was like, what can I do in this world that's gonna pay my bills and feed my soul?
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's the goal. Where all of a sudden, in a few years, bro, your podcast is gonna pay your bills and feed your soul. You know what I mean?
I hope it's not years. I hope it's a few months.
Hey, you go. That's what I'm saying. Hey, I'd say that.
Monday we're talking to you.
Forever. Hey, months, bro.
Nah, but yeah, man.
I say that just from my own experience of like, it took years. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It wasn't no overnight thing. Like, even practicing and rehearsing, like, takes time, bro. And then, you know, equipment and buying, investing into it, and you know, it's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah, it's a lot of hours, a lot of time, a lot of money. You know, that's probably most of my possessions are all equipment and music and you know, instruments and all this stuff. Like, my computers to me, bro, are priceless, because they have all my original work on it. And my original work, someone could come along and say like, well, what is it worth? Well, if I sell it 1 or 2 works for $1 million a piece tomorrow, you tell me what it's worth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, so that to me, all my music is priceless. You know, like, and it don't take nothing to make those type of moves nowadays. So the way I see it is like, what we do is invaluable, you know?
Yeah.
And even the joy that we bring to people, the energy that we bring to people, we've gotten the feedback after plenty of shows, plenty of concerts that we've done, where it's like, hey, we saw you up there just loving life, enjoying it, smiling, enjoying yourself, and we wanted to join in, and that's what we did, and we had the time of our life. It was a blast. So it's like, man, that's what we're here to do, I guess, you know? Like, that's our calling in this world, is to not only entertain, but, you know what I mean, like, you provide a different form of entertainment where it's like, it's from the soul, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
No, I think that's the theme for the whole conversation, is something different.
Yeah.
Being different. And then, I guess not listening to others.
Yeah, bro, fuck what they say.
I don't know. I say that with caution. Listen to them when it's good stuff. I don't know.
I take this from a professor of mine. He told me, take everything with a grain. It's take everything with a grain of salt. So no matter what the thing is, like, take something from it. But take what you need.
Yeah.
You don't have to take it all. You don't got to take all the bad. You don't got to take all the good. But take everything with a grain. And yeah, it lessens that blow sometimes of somebody trying to criticize, or someone that comes in and, you know, they say either something good or something bad, whatever it is. But you take it with a grain and be like, okay, you know what? I'll take that. You know, I'll put it in with the rest, and this will help with it. But it's not gonna throw you off completely.
No.
You know. And
then that makes sense. I like to tell my son, listen to everything. Like, pay attention and listen, and then gather the facts.
Right.
Because not everything you hear is gonna be true, and not everything. So just gather the facts and then make a decision on what's good for you to move forward with.
Right. And that took me years to understand.
Yeah.
Oh man, I spoke faster than I thought. Too long, you know what I mean?
No.
But now I was in the ya de viejo. You know what I mean? I got the grays and
I feel like I learned that quick because I had a grandpa that my grandpa was always like that guy's like he would say it más sabe el que what is it? Fuck, now I'm gonna mess it up. Más fuck. Calladito, más bonito. No, I'm just kidding.
So like, all right, hey,
that's a saying.
Same thing.
But it was more of saying like by listening you'll learn more. Like the smartest guy in the room is not the one that's talking.
He's not you're not the loudest guy in the room. And that's how you know the loudest guy in the room is usually not. You know what I mean? Like.
Man, I can't believe I'm blanking on his saying. He would say it all the time, and I feel like most of the time it was to like shut me up. Like I'm bothering him probably. Yeah. But no, I learned that quick. Because of him, and then nowadays, even as an adult, I'll get told like, "Man, you're so quiet. Like you or like if I feel uncomfortable or whatever." Right. It's like, "No, man, I'm just listening. I'm gathering facts."
I'm absorbing it, and that's one thing I used to get annoyed by with certain people. Would be like respond. It's like, yo, give me a chance to think, yo. Like, hold on, I'm gonna put some thought into it, and then I'm gonna give you what I think, you know, but. Yeah, man. Some people, that's just, we're in that microwave generation. Everything's quick. Everything's fast. Everything's, 10
seconds and flip. 10 seconds.
Yeah, swipe. Not, okay, I'm done with this. Next. I heard this song 3 times in a row. Next. You know what I mean? Like, it's wild. So, yeah, the way we gotta.
Real quick with that, too, man. Like, the songs, Too Hard, Too Fast. Enjoy the time. No, with music, my wife makes fun of me because I'll listen to something and I can't listen. Like the lyrics, I'll forget them. Yeah. So it takes me a while to like listen to a song, and then it hits me, and it hits me, and like, dude. And she's like, that song's been out for a month. I know, but it just hit me. Yeah. It just hit me, and I just finally analyzed the whole thing. I was like, dang. Yeah. But that's why I love like different kind of music, like out of the mainstream, because mainstream is just the same thing. Right. But like what you guys are doing, like that kind of stuff just hits me. It's like, that makes that either it hits like the movement or it hits like the same, like whatever you're trying to portray. Right. So that's what I love about talking to different talents like that.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, it's an honor.
Speaking of music, I'm gonna let you go so you can go to practice.
I know. Sorry, fellas. I'm on the way.
But before you go, I'm gonna ask for your Too Hard, Too Fast story.
Oh yeah.
A funny story, a cautionary tale, or words of wisdom, whatever you want to share.
All right, it's gonna be all 3. Right, it's gonna encompass all 3. I was like, how old was I? 20. I think I was 20. I was already, in the sauce. You know what I mean? And I'm feeling myself. I'm like, yeah, Superman complex. I can do anything, right? And they bring out a bottle of Everclear, and I'm like, dude, give me that shit. I've never had Everclear in my life, but I've just been drinking nothing but straight all night. You know what I mean? And I grabbed the bottle and just, and I'm talking like by the time I do this, I'm like, what the fuck is going on, bro? Because everything's just incinerated. Just like, what the fuck? Boom, just all this. That's like the worst I ever threw up in my life. But yeah, it was that little precautionary tale of like feeling completely invincible, and then like running into something that you just with no care, no nothing, just bring it on. You know what I mean? And just wow. And I was just like, holy shit, I'm never gonna do that again, bro. I will never, just with no information, no background, no nothing, just. And I don't care. That could be a relationship. That could be a whatever it is, bro. Like, I gotta know before I'm taking a drink.
I gotta gather the facts.
I gotta take a small taste test before I do that to myself ever again, bro. But yeah, before you go too hard, too fast, because you think you Superman, you think you're invincible, bro. Just imagine a bottle of Everclear. Don't do it. Yeah. It'll just light your whole existence ablaze.
For real, man. Something's
a good wake up call. Just live it, yeah. Enjoy yourself. Yeah. Everything in moderation. I used to be that extremist and stuff, but yeah, just limit yourself. Take your time. Go slow. Don't be going too hard, too fast. You know what I'm saying? Be crashing out here. Been there, survive that too. But yeah, all love, baby. Be the change you wish to see in this world. Why are you here out here in this bitch? What are you doing out here with your time? God bless you with this life, this gift on earth. Do something with it, bro. Change the world. We got enough people doing all the fuck shit anyway. We don't need more of that shit. So go ahead and do what you do. Be the light. Be the change you wish to see. I'll see you out there, baby. Do that thing. Tarasco Tropical, Rich Wild, baby. We hold it down, baby. Rich Wild platforms, baby. Too Hard, Too Fast podcast, baby. It's all day.
Hey, Too Hard, Too Fast, baby. We've gone too hard, too fast. Remember, dare to be you, dare to be weird. Bye.
Love y'all. All love, baby. Appreciate you, brother.
Oh, man, for sure. That was
Love
cool.
you.
My hands are all
Yeah,
sweaty.
no, it's all good, bro. Thank you, thank you.
Está loco.